That'd be 75 cents. And so if you're paying 5 cents a kilowatt hour, it'll cost you 75 cents a day. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Well, today's video, we're going to be testing the efficiency of the Rivian R1S right here. Yeah, last time we drove my Rivian R1T over there and checked the efficiency on that, but now we're going to be testing out the Rivian R1S. It's been a minute since I've been in this vehicle, so so let's go ahead and check it out and see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have here. I had a vehicle set up for me, and man, the tire pressure in this is horrible. I need to, it's too late for me to get that corrected, but I would correct it on my way back, and we'll see the efficiency difference. Yeah, so let me go ahead and reset the trip B. I'm gonna reset that. And so right now we all zeroed out. We got 0 miles per kilowatt hour, 0 kilowatt hours used. Let's just go to trip A and see historically. So over the last 5,600 miles, this Rivian R1S has been getting 2.27 miles per kilowatt hour, and it's used 2,650 kilowatt hours. I believe that's all the miles that's ever been driven in this vehicle so far. So 2,650 kilowatt hours. So, and right now the temperature outside is 34 degrees. Well, the temperature right here is 34 degrees. I'm sure it's probably colder outside. Battery temp 61. And let's just go and look and see where we are as far as battery percentage wise. And right now we're at 82% state of charge. So I'm ready to head out to my destination. Along the way, we'll check and see what the efficiency is, what this Rivian R1S is getting. And also just to, plugging in, this Rivian does have the Force Edge interior. And this is a 2024. And you cannot get this anymore. The Force Edge and the Ocean Coast are two of my favorite interiors, so I'm happy we were able to get this before they stopped producing it. Yeah, definitely a nice interior in this vehicle. But let's go ahead and head out, and I'll check back in with you on the way there, and then once I get to my destination, and I'll see you all back. And so far I've used 1 kilowatt hour, and I'm getting 1.83 miles per kilowatt hour. So we're just gonna continue to head on, and this is just the beginning of the trip. And I've probably only driven about 1 mile so far. But but again, the tire pressure is at 40, pretty low. And I'll show you that right here. So tire pressure at 40, and that's for all 4 tires. And it will go up a little bit as the tires heat up as I drive, but that's pretty low. Again, this vehicle should also be at 48 PSI, just like the Rivian R1T. But yeah, so this vehicle's a lot more nimble than my Rivian. So, but I do like the idea of being able to hop out of one vehicle, hop in another one, and you still have the same outstanding driving experience. However, there are some differences, and I'll discuss those probably on the way back. But this thing does turn a lot tighter than the Rivian R1T, so that's something that's something to get used to. Matter of fact, that's good. Obviously, Rivian's a big 7,000-pound truck, so this has a much shorter wheelbase, so it should be more nimble than that vehicle. And this thing is driving super smooth. This is a nice ride right here. This is nice. And I do have some wind noise coming in from these roof mounts that I have installed up here, but no big deal. But yeah, I'll see you all back a little later. Okay, I'm back and I ride to my destination, and I'm gonna show you the efficiency of this Rivian R1S. And as you can see here, again, exactly 8 kilowatt hours, exactly 16 miles again. And the efficiency is a little better, I believe, than the R1T. And it's 32 degrees outside versus when I drove the Rivian R1T, it was like 50 something. So it's about 20 degrees colder. So, keep that in perspective. And also we have the issue with the even lower tire pressure than what was in my Rivian R1T. But yeah, so let's just look at some other numbers. And so the average speed was 35 miles an hour, and I drove for 26 minutes. And I think it was 26 minutes in the R1T. And so just to look at the efficiency here as far as the energy used, we are at 76% state of charge and 234 miles. And so we're gonna see how much battery is used up just trying to keep the battery warm because it is pretty cold outside today. But this is a good test because it is cold outside. And I'm just going to show you the efficiency for the last 15 minutes. And right here, you can see that I was getting 2.27 miles per kilowatt hour. So this is pretty good, and it would be better if with the tire pressure, but I will correct that before I head back home today. But yeah, this is pretty good. This thing is pretty nimble. And I'll talk more about that on the way home. But I'll see you all back later. Okay, I'm back, and just like with the Rivian R1T, I'm going to show you how much energy was used since the vehicle's been sitting for about 7 to 8 hours. And right here, still 16 miles used and 8 kilowatt hours used. And the efficiency, just like with the Rivian R1T, went down to 1.89. And right here showing the last 15 minutes is 2.27. And just like with the Rivian R1T, I did aired all the tires up. Again, this vehicle does have the air compressor on. I know some Gen 2s, it's an option now. But all Gen 1 Rivians come with the air compressor, so I was able to air all the tires up, get to the right tire pressure, which is 48 PSI. Of course, it's not going to change until I'm driving for a while, but I'll just show you where it is right now. And right here, you see it showing between 40 and 41 PSI. But as we drive along, you'll see that's going to increase. And just let's look at the state of charge of the battery, and now it's showing 76%. And I think I was at 82% when I pulled off. I'll have to look again and see. And right here showing 233 miles of range. And same thing right here. And so I'm ready to take off and head back home. And then we're going to see if the efficiency is going to be different. I suspect it's going to be about the same, but we're going to see. So, but I'll be back, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, I am rolling in the Gen 1 Rivian. And you know, I've only taken this thing on the highway a few times. Well, I did go on a road trip with it, more like a day trip. And this thing rode pretty smoothly. And, you know, I know some people, you know, this thing has 835 horsepower. And, you know, some people say, oh, you don't need all of that horsepower. I guess if you're thinking if you're just on a drag strip or something like that, yes. But as far as getting out of trouble in traffic conditions, yes. It definitely helps when you can just do this. It makes it a lot easier to get out of trouble. And that's what I really like, you know, like merging over. And it's good knowing that you probably are the fastest thing on the road. You know, so I'm looking at the vehicles in front of me, around me. I'm pretty sure this is one of the fastest vehicles on the road. And I just show you again, if I want to get out of trouble, get away from some truck, just tap the pedal and I'm gone. They're in my rearview mirror. And I'm sure it's going to hurt efficiency, but this is how I drive. So, and this is a real world driving. I'm not trying to baby the vehicle or anything like that. So, and if you can see this efficiency graph over here, and it says 1.88, you see a big dip because of the way I accelerated those few times. And I'm up to 10 kilowatt hours used, and my efficiency is at 1.85. But I noticed with this Rivian R1S is that the long ride, it usually kind of starts off rough as far as the ride quality, but after a few minutes, it really settles in and it gets pretty good. That's what I noticed. And like right now, this is pretty smooth. I heard a lot of people in the past complain about the ride quality of the R1S, the Gen 1 R1S. I think it rides pretty good. And so I think my R1T has a smoother ride, but this isn't bad at all. This is more nimble. It's a different kind of ride. It's definitely a slight adjustment because this vehicle is a lot more nimble and it's a lot quicker in the turns than the R1T. But this is smooth. I mean, this is what I really like, especially with this quad motor going around these corners like this. Because it has a torque vectoring, it just locks into these corners so great. It just hugs them, and yeah, it just feels good. And I feel really secure taking these curves at the speed. Yeah, it's just the interior is nice, ride quality is nice, and you know, in my comment section, I always get people that compare the price of this vehicle, but I hear a lot of people in the comment section, you know, comparing the R1S or the R1T to other regular gas vehicles. And I was talking to my wife about this, and I think it's an insult, actually. You know, comparing an electric vehicle, especially the Rivian, the R1T to a regular, that is not a regular truck. And this is not a regular SUV. And so there is nothing that compares to it. Now, I know in this world where we are trying to compare, you know, seeing what's equivalent as far as a gas vehicle, yeah, I know we have to do that sometimes because it's nothing, but I'm just letting you all know, for those of you who have never driven an electric vehicle before or a Rivian, there's no gas equivalent to this. It just does not exist. And then we start comparing different aspects of the vehicle, and then those vehicles cost even more than this. Like a Range Rover or a Jeep Trackhawk. Those things are more expensive and they cost more to insure. And I'm going to do another insurance video too, as I get a lot of that in my comment section. Like, well, you pay more for the vehicle. Well, more than what? What are you comparing it to? Yes, I paid more for the Rivian than somebody will pay for a Nissan Rogue. But this is not a Nissan Rogue. This is not a Jeep Grand Cherokee. This is on a whole different level. And in fact, one can argue that this is a bargain. When you look at all the features and all the capabilities you have with this vehicle, this is a bargain, actually. Because again, I say the Rivian R1T is like three vehicles in one, and this is like 2 vehicles in one. You know, so you got all the off-road capability, plus you have the smooth drivetrain of the electric. Then you have all the storage. You don't get the same storage in a regular SUV as you have with this. I have this big front that I can put all my groceries in, and it's just a nice vehicle. And I say it's nothing comparable that's gas to this Rivian R1T. It just does not exist. But yeah, so I'm just going to continue to head home, and I see my PSI is finally up to 50, and I'm just head home, and we'll re-engage in. But I'll see you all back in a few. Okay, I'm back, and now we're going to look at the final numbers and see what the efficiency is in this Rivian R1S. I drove 30.9 miles or 31 miles, and I did 2.02 miles per kilowatt hour. And I use 15 kilowatt hours. So yeah, that's almost the same. I have to go back and look at the numbers from the R1T, but those are awfully close. One of the big differences between when I drove my Rivian R1T and then the Rivian R1S is that today it was 20 degrees colder. It was like 32 degrees outside this morning, where it was a lot warmer, about 20 degrees warmer with the Rivian R1T. So I'm sure that had an impact on range, and plus I was running the heater longer and I had my heated seats on. And I did in the Rivian, but I didn't really have my heat running that much because it wasn't that cold outside that day. But yeah, so same scenario. I aired up all 4 of the tires, so should have used the exact same amount of electricity. The tire pressure were very similar to the Rivian R1T. But there you have it. So basically the same, 15 kilowatt hours was used. So it'll cost the same amount as it did with the Rivian. And I just do the math again just to see how much this daily commute would cost me. So 15 kilowatt hours times 0.13, and that equals $1.95. So it's exactly the same as the Rivian R1S. So very cheap to operate. And if you have even lower rates, so I get a lot of people in my comment section say they're only paying 5 cents a kilowatt hour. That'd be 75 cents. And so if you're paying 5 cents a kilowatt hour, it'll cost you 75 cents a day to drive this, the fastest SUV on the planet, the most powerful, the Rivian R1S. 75 cents a day, and that's driving 31 miles. That's pretty darn good. And if you have solar, again, you can get that to 0. You cannot do that in a gas vehicle. I'll keep telling you. So this is the electric vehicles is where you have your options to reduce costs and to just gain energy independence, where you can take some of your control back. So you don't have to just give it to the oil company. They can just raise the prices up whenever they want to. You don't have to worry about that with electric. And if you do, you can get solar to control it if you have the option for solar. Also, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You know, hit that like and that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section also. I really appreciate your thoughts, and I'm more likely to feature them in my next video. But that's all I have for today. I'd like to thank you for joining me once again, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.